The Boston medical community is incredible. There are medical institutions that have been around for a very long time who do cutting-edge research, who are advancing the healthcare field every single day. They're not just medical institutions, they're places of hope.
I may be biased, but Boston is the greatest medical community in the country, possibly in the world. It's even in the data. If you look at the highest ranked hospitals every year, all of the Boston hospitals are routinely in the top 5. So when patients are told, we can't take care of you locally, you need to travel for care, they know it's Boston.
More than half of the families I work with have traveled to some degree. It's really hard and really complicated. And for most of our families, the biggest worry and the biggest financial concern is, where are we going to stay?
They are sometimes faced with the choice, are you going to travel and access the care in Boston that you can't get anywhere else, or are you going to leave that option off the table? And unfortunately, some people have to make that choice based on the fact that they can't afford to travel or they can't afford to stay in a city like Boston. When I meet a family where a parent is a veteran or active service member, immediately the first resource that comes to mind is Fisher House Boston.
Fisher House Boston removes one of the largest barriers to medical care, which is the lodging costs. Boston has one of the highest costs of living. Hotel costs are exorbitant, to say the least.
Fisher House Boston provides no-cost housing in Boston adjacent to academic medical centers to get the best possible care there is for the patient themselves or their loved ones.
To have their family be able to be there, that isn't covered by insurance. And so to have an organization like Fisher House Boston that can come in and provide supplement to that is incredible.
It's really heartbreaking for someone to say, I want to get my care here, but I can't. I can't leap over the barriers that are here. So when you work with someone like Fisher House Boston, who are wiping out most of the barriers that get in the way, that's really powerful.
Being able to offer Fisher House Boston as an alternative brings peace of mind that they can access the care that they can't get anywhere else.
Fisher House Boston really views the military family as a unit. So when any member of that military family is facing medical crisis, they need the best care. They deserve the best care. And they deserve their family, their support system by their side.
So making sure that a child undergoing congenital heart disease's parents can stay in Boston with them to see them through what could be a months-long hospital admission, or a service member who may have a complex cancer diagnosis who is requiring intensive chemotherapy can have their loved ones be by their side.
We connect directly with the social work team, the medical team, and the patient, and we work as a group to assess what the needs are, what the dates of care are. There is no limit on the number of nights. Fisher House Boston books a hotel room within close proximity of the hospital and pays for the room tax and parking in their entirety. So those are costs that the family never has to think about again. They know they can come into the city and have a safe, comfortable, and free place to stay for the duration of their care.
When you have a baby who from the day that they're born is sitting in an ICU bed because of a congenital defect, I know that my patients do better when their parents are next to them. I know that my babies develop better when mom is sitting there singing to them in their crib, and I know that the anxious 7-year-old who is terrified of the monitors and the beeping and all of that is gonna do better when their parent is holding their hand and when they wake up from surgery and see their loved one next to them. And so for me, being able to have parents or loved ones at the bedside of my patients is vital to their recovery.
It offers stability. Go get 4 hours of sleep, take a shower, feel like yourself again, and be able to regroup and be able to come back and show up for their child or the patient.
Fisher House Boston uses hotel rooms, which allows us to never be full. The existing lodging programs that are brick and mortar fill up, and then they have no choice but to use a wait list, even though that is so hard to tell patients you can't help them right away. We can step in right away and help. Oftentimes, same day.
They also have a small number of apartments that enable a more authentic living style, if you will. So families actually have bedrooms, and if they have additional children with them, there's an area for children to play, and there's a kitchen to be able to cook meals and eat as a family. And those moments of normalcy are crucial because they help tie you back to your family and to your everyday life and give you something to work toward. There is this culture in the military that we are strong and we are the protectors and we don't ask for help, we give help. And that's great, but there's no weakness in asking for help. And in fact, I would argue there is strength in that.
We lead with thanks, and we lead with the fact that they have already paid for this program. Their service is their payment. This is a mutual exchange as a thank you for your service.
To have a resource available to us like Fisher House Boston, there is nothing else that rivals that.
Our goal is to never have to turn away a service member or their family when they are in need of our help. The only way to continue to achieve that is through the incredibly generous support of people who have found our organization.
We want everybody to know that if they support Fisher House Boston with a donation, that donation is going where you want it to go. It is going directly to these families that we are serving, and it is changing their lives.
We don't want any family to have to say that they cannot choose life-saving care just because they can't afford a place to stay.
It does change course outcomes, and it will save lives.